Dust caked the antique shop's windows. It smelled of decay and forgotten things. Cobwebs draped the countless mirrors lining the walls. Each reflected nothing but shadows, except for one. An ornately carved silver-backed mirror stood apart. It hummed with an unseen energy. Its reflection was strangely clear, beckoning anyone who dared to look closer. Many had, their fates now entwined with the mirror's dark magic. Celia, a young woman obsessed with beauty, stumbled upon the shop. She had always been drawn to the allure of the past, the mystery of antiques and the stories they held. This particular shop, with its dim lighting and dusty shelves, seemed to call out to her, promising secrets and treasures untold. She saw the ornate mirror and was instantly captivated. The mirror was unlike any she had ever seen, with intricate carvings of mythical creatures and delicate floral patterns that seemed to dance in the flickering candlelight. It was as if the mirror had a life of its own, whispering promises of unparalleled beauty and charm. Its reflection showed her more beautiful than she'd ever imagined. Her skin appeared flawless, her eyes sparkled with an otherworldly light, and her hair flowed like liquid gold. She couldn't tear her eyes away from the image, mesmerized by the vision of perfection staring back at her. Day after day, Celia returned. Each visit, she found herself more entranced by the mirror's magic. She would spend hours standing before it, admiring her reflection, losing track of time and reality. The shopkeeper watched her with a knowing look, but said nothing, as if understanding the mirror's hold on her. Her reflection started to change. At first, subtly. Tiny imperfections began to appear, barely noticeable at first, a slight wrinkle here, a faint shadow there. Celia dismissed them, attributing them to her imagination or the poor lighting in the shop. Then her reflection took on a monstrous life of its own. The changes became more pronounced, more grotesque. Her once flawless skin now appeared cracked and decayed, her eyes hollow and lifeless. She could no longer recognize the face staring back at her, a twisted mockery of her former beauty. The reflection grew more hideous with each visit, feeding on Celia's vanity. The more she obsessed over her appearance, the more the mirror seemed to distort it, as if punishing her for her superficial desires. She tried to look away, but the mirror's pull was too strong, drawing her back again and again. Celia eventually became a prisoner of her own self-obsession, her beauty devoured by the mirror's curse. She could no longer leave the shop, bound to the mirror by an invisible force. Her days were spent in front of it, desperately trying to reclaim the beauty that had once been hers, but only finding despair and horror. She vanished, leaving behind a chilling reminder that vanity has a steep price. The shop remained, its doors closed and windows dark, but the mirror still stood, waiting for its next victim. Those who dared to enter the shop would find it empty, save for the mirror, and the faint echo of Celia's last desperate cries. Years later, a struggling artist named Lily wandered into the antique shop. She had been walking aimlessly through the streets, her mind clouded with thoughts of her dwindling career and the mounting pressure to succeed. The shop, with its dusty windows and mysterious aura, seemed to call out to her, offering a brief escape from her worries. As she stepped inside, the scent of aged wood and forgotten memories enveloped her. She roamed through the aisles, her fingers brushing against relics of the past, until she saw the ornate mirror and felt an odd pull. It was as if the mirror had a life of its own, beckoning her closer with an invisible force. Driven by desperation for success, she made a wish. She closed her eyes, her heart pounding with a mix of hope and fear, and whispered her deepest desire to the mirror. The reflection flickered, and for a moment she thought she saw something move within the glass. When she opened her eyes, Lily's reflection smiled back at her, but it wasn't her smile. It was a sinister, knowing smile that sent chills down her spine. She stepped back, shaken, but the allure of the mirror was too strong to resist. Days turned into weeks, and Lily's paintings began to gain recognition. Critics and art lovers alike were drawn to her work, praising its unique beauty. But there was something unsettling about her creations. They were dark, almost haunting, and seemed to carry a weight that was not her own. The paintings reflected not Lily's talent, but a dark, twisted mockery of it. Each brushstroke seemed to be guided by an unseen hand, creating images that were both mesmerizing and disturbing. The more she painted, the more she felt a growing sense of unease. One night, as she stared at her latest piece, the realization hit her like a thunderbolt. Her success had come at a terrible cost. The mirror had taken her true talent, replacing it with a hollow imitation fueled by darkness. She felt a deep sense of loss, as if a part of her soul had been stolen. Desperate to reclaim what she had lost, Lily returned to the antique shop, hoping to find a way to reverse the curse. She stood before the mirror, her reflection now a twisted version of herself, and pleaded for her talent to be returned. But the mirror remained silent, its dark power unyielding. Lily realized that she had made a pact with something far more sinister than she could have ever imagined, and the price of her wish was one she would have to bear forever. The mirror, now pulsing with a sinister energy, awaited its next victim. It found one in Ilara, a young woman fleeing a troubled past. She sought solace in the antique shop, hoping to lose herself among the forgotten relics. Drawn to the ornate mirror, Ilara saw not her reflection but a swirling vortex of colors. She reached out, mesmerized. In a blink, she was gone. Pulled through the glass, a prisoner in her own reflection. Section 5. Whispers from the other side. Ilara found herself trapped in a mirrored world, a haunting reflection of her own. She was surrounded by distorted figures, echoes of the mirror's past victims. They whispered tales of regret and despair. Days turned into an endless, terrifying eternity. Ilara watched her own life unfold from the other side of the mirror, a silent observer unable to break free. Section 6. A New Home. The antique shop was bustling with activity. The air was thick with the scent of aged wood and the faint aroma of old books. Shelves were crammed with trinkets and treasures from bygone eras, each item whispering tales of the past to those who cared to listen. People browsed, unaware of the horrors the ornate mirror held. They moved from one item to another, their eyes gleaming with curiosity and excitement. Little did they know, amidst the clutter, a sinister presence lurked. It stood patient and hungry, waiting for its next victim. The mirror, with its intricate frame and dark, foreboding glass, seemed to pulse with a life of its own. It had seen countless faces, each one adding to its insatiable hunger. It didn't have to wait long. The mirror's allure was undeniable, drawing people in like moths to a flame. Its surface shimmered, promising beauty and mystery to anyone who dared to gaze into its depths. A young, aspiring actress, drawn to the mirror's captivating beauty, purchased it. Her eyes sparkled with dreams of fame and fortune, and she believed the mirror would be her lucky charm. She couldn't resist its pull, feeling an inexplicable connection to it. She admired her reflection, unaware of the darkness lurking beneath the surface. She saw only her own beauty, her potential, and the bright future she envisioned. The mirror, however, saw something entirely different. Unaware that her life was about to become a terrifying spectacle for the trapped Ilara to witness. Ilara, a spirit bound to the mirror for centuries, watched with sorrow and dread. She had seen many lives destroyed by the mirror's curse, and she knew the young actress was no exception. The mirror's dark power would soon reveal itself, turning the actress's dreams into a nightmare. Section 7. One Last Glance. Ilara watched in horror as the aspiring actress, filled with hope and dreams, hung the ornate mirror in her bedroom. The actress, blinded by her ambition, saw only the beauty it reflected. Ilara knew the truth. She was desperate to warn her, to break through the mirror's barrier and reveal its true nature. But it was too late. The curse was already taking hold, feeding on the actress's deepest desires. Section 8. The cycle continues. The antique shop stands silent, the ornate mirror gone. But its legacy of terror continues, carried within the reflection of a young actress, now trapped in her own right. The cycle starts anew. The mirror, a silent predator, waits for its next victim. Its curse, a chilling reminder that some reflections are best left unseen, and some prices once paid can never be refunded.